Today, I'm going to buy Big Chungus from GameStop.
Hello everybody, it's been about 4 months since I made a video like this, but they're flying Kosa again. They're doing this thing again. A few months ago I talked about how the government wants to heckin' wholesomely erase the internet basically by repealing Section 230. I don't believe I actually talked about Section 230, but I did talk about how uh, a lot of a lot of people from both sides of the political spectrum, on the Democrat side and the Republican side, have been flying this thing around called COSA, which is supposed to make the internet more safe for kids by not actually making the internet safe for kids. Because the real way to make the internet safe for kids is to not have kids on the internet. The internet was never made for kids. It just happens that a lot of kids have found the internet and have been looking at it without any supervision. By the way, it's your fault, actually, that a child might stumble upon something awful on the internet. It's your fault. You, specifically. You watching this, it's your fault because fuck you, man. That's basically what this entire thing is, and this is what it has been the entire time. 4 months ago, when I talked about the Kosa slop and the shit that they're doing in the UK, which they are still doing in the UK, it was stupid, it was dumb, and it was a violation of free speech, which they already didn't really have in the UK, but now they really don't have it because everything wants your ID now. Everything wants your ID. Discord has announced recently that they are going to make it so you have to verify your ID in order to check if you are 18 years old. You know, Discord, the one that can definitely be trusted with your information. And the one that definitely didn't have a massive data breach back in October, which showed thousands of IDs, literally thousands of government IDs because of a data leak that happened. You definitely want to be giving you definitely want to be giving them your ID. This whole thing has been really blackpilling for me because I've seen a lot of people online from all over just not really care enough to actually talk about this. I saw Moist Critical talk about it, which was really good, and I've seen a good video by Taylor Lorenz, which I think you should watch for better information on this, because I'm not the best person to talk about it, but I would like to just get the message out at least. But I have not really seen a whole lot of people talk about this, especially content creators, like large content creators, like, well, why are they not speaking on this? Why is, at least as far as I've heard, I have not heard Hassan talk about this. I have not heard Ludwig talk about this. I haven't heard any of these big streamers talking about this. When this type of stuff could really fuck up them too. I mean, if it fucks up, then they can just retire and they never have to make a video again. But like, if they actually still want to make videos, this is going to ruin everything for them too. And they're not going to be able to make videos when the internet is completely repealed and completely fucked over by both KOSA and repealing Section 230, which these fucking toothless hicks in our government, which, by the way, allegedly eat babies and sacrifice them according to the Epstein files. I say allegedly, but it's looking pretty, pretty bad, pretty bad. But these people are completely trying to erase any type of free speech that you can see online, any type of proper information that you could get about whatever's going on in the world will be completely censored, especially speech regarding a certain country with a blue and white flag. We're already seeing a massive crackdown on free speech on like TikTok, for instance. I just left TikTok recently because of how they have completely just destroyed it now that it's owned by a company which also happens to be Israeli. My content, as well as a lot of other people who actually make political content for the most part, have been getting completely silenced or just like hidden in the algorithm for whatever reason. I had a lot of my videos just get 0 views for a little while, despite the fact that they usually get a couple hundred on average on TikTok. And a lot of queer content creators in general have been getting hidden in TikTok's algorithm for a little bit now. And it's looking like this is going to be something that happens more and more often on every platform. It's not going to be just TikTok. It'll be Instagram Reels next, which it already kind of is. It is already kind of starting to do things like that. It's going to be, well, it was already Twitter to begin with, but it's going to be other platforms like YouTube and maybe even Twitch. And this is something that could be reversed. These are things that can be fixed and these can be mitigated. But many big creators are not stepping in and are not talking about this or situations regarding this. The only large creators I've really seen talk about this are Moist Critical and some ordinary gamers, but people who don't watch them specifically are not going to know about what's going on. And both of those creators both have very overlapping fan bases, so it's not a huge amount of difference in a huge amount of people being shown these things. I don't like to be the person who says that creators have like an obligation to talk about what I want them to talk about because that's just not how it works, but I think creators have an obligation to talk about things that will hurt them and will hurt other content creators, especially small content creators like me. Repealing Section 230 could destroy this channel and I would never be able to post again. I don't even know if I would be able to post my games or my art or anything else like ever again. So what I'm hoping with this video is that it gets out to someone who can share this to someone, but I really don't know what else to say, what else to do, what can I do other than contact my representatives, which you should too. Contact whatever representatives you have and tell them to not vote towards things like these. A lot of these bills and a lot of these proposals are completely draconian and are, in fact, completely created for the sole purpose of hiding free speech and capitulating to a lot of agendas from certain political parties as well as certain countries as well, mostly the United States and with Israel. If your local politicians are voting towards COSA or towards repealing Section 230, then maybe you should check to see how much money they've taken from APAC or how much money they get just in general. I don't really like to dive into conspiracy theory territory with my videos, but this isn't a conspiracy. These censorship bills, these like ID verification things, these are here to build a database on the people who have been criticizing anything to do with the current American administration as well as Israel. It's also pretty clear that stuff like this is going to be used to silence queer creators as well as other minorities on all of these platforms, and it's going to only get worse. And the only real way that you can stop this is by fighting back, but nobody is trying to do that other than a couple big creators. I make this video because I'm passionate about creating things online, and the idea of not ever being able to create things online properly without it being massively censored just isn't something that I want to deal with. It isn't something that I want to have just be the reality that I live in, because it shouldn't be, and it never should be ever. It never should be something that we have to fear for, because that's something that is happening right now. It's something that is being fought for by these wealthy corpos and a lot of these people who are probably responsible for the sacrifice of children, according to the Epstein files, allegedly, and who are maybe not, maybe shouldn't be allowed in the general public and should be behind bars. for being involved in the Epstein files. A lot of these people who are making the decisions and making these bills and making public policy, and also possibly controlling the United States of America. This isn't something that I want. This isn't something that anybody should want. This isn't something that should even be something that you're like, oh man, this could happen. We can't let the government, and we can't let big wealthy corpos purchase the internet and purchase their way to making obtaining information a punishable offense, because that's basically what this is going to be. This is basically what this is going to become after they build a database on you for thinking that people shouldn't be disappeared into concentration camps, or that children shouldn't be fucking drone striked in hospitals. I know I'm sounding like a broken record and always talking about stuff like this, but like this is something important to me. This is something that should be important to you too, because this will affect everyone and everything. And it looks like the internet is going into a dark spot, and we can't let that happen. So please share this video. Try and share it with as many people as you can. Please tell people who you know who aren't in the loop with this type of stuff that like these types of things are actually inherently bad and awful. And I don't I don't know what else we can really do other than making this information be known. But that's all I really have to say. I will have a fucking video essay out soon. I just wanted to talk about this because, like I've been saying for months now, this is something that they're going to continuously fly up. This probably will get shot down again, like it has been getting for months, but then it's going to come back again, and we will have the same song and dance over and over and over again until something is done, but I don't know when that will be.